Hello, welcome to Shad Life. Well, I just looked at my weather app and it is minus 13 degrees Fahrenheit outside right now. Both today and tomorrow, it's not even going to get above zero. So, won't be till Tuesday that it gets above zero. So, yeah, pretty wild. Nice cold snap. But I'm in Minnesota and this happens, and it doesn't happen as often as it used to. So it's kind of wild to think that, now that it happens, I'm not used to it. But it used to be fairly regular in January and February, and even sometimes in December, that you'd have these cold snaps where it never got above zero. But yeah, anyway, so I'm not going outside, and I've been working on the NORCO. So this is the next. I've been just doing a bunch of short videos of the progress of this, and I have the wheels on it now. You can ignore the red grips. I really like these grips. These are actually the Sam Pilgrim Pill grips. But I don't want this color on here. I just put them on so I can work with the brake levers and stuff like that and get things aligned. But yeah, it's starting to come along. So I have my wolf tooth waveform pedals on here. So the idea is, and that's why the grips won't stay, is I'm gonna have little bits of blue accents on this bike. So blue dropper lever, blue pedals, and then of course the suspension has little blue accents on it. So just kind of add a little bit of flair to it since everything's black. I mean, the paint job is pretty amazing. This kind of sparkly finish, which is cool. But yeah, this is really coming together. I'm kind of stoked. And yeah, you can see in all my videos, you'll see the canyon just sadly laying over there. I will do something with that. Don't worry. It's just I got so frustrated with it. I'm like, yeah, putting it aside. Gonna do this, and then I'll get back to that at some point. Or I might, because of the frustration, I might just take it into a shop and have them do it upright if I can't get it done. But I actually did, and that's why I have this bucket thing here or whatever. I actually did do the brakes and bleed the brakes and stuff and get them all dialed in. So those are working. And the one thing I still have yet to hook up is the dropper post. Of course, this cable is way too long. It's going to actually go over here. So I got to shorten the cable. And that's kind of why I wanted to get the wheels on the bike, is I want to take it out of the stand because it's much easier to do the dropper out of the stand. So what's cool is I have a lot of wolf tooth stuff on here. Not a lot, but if you want to know the components, I'll just kind of run through them really quick. So this is a wolf tooth resolve dropper. I want to say, gosh, I don't remember which one I ordered. I think 150. This is a size small. I'm only 5'7", so I don't need super long droppers. And then, so Wolf Tooth Resolve, this is the version 2, right? Wolf Tooth Pro dropper lever. Deity, these are the 50 mil, I believe, rise bars on Deity stem. So, yeah, that's the bars I had on the Canyon. RockShox Fox Performance Elite 36. Those are nice. The wheels are DT Swiss with 350 hubs. Super nice wheel, 1700. Love these wheels. The tires are the Schwalbe's Knobby Nick. I like these tires too. I'm going to talk about these in a second because I'm going to be comparing this to the Canyon, but I'll get back to that. So coming back to the parts, so it's mostly XT. So I got XT brake levers, XT shifter up here, going to XT 4-piston brakes, Shimano Ice rotors, right? So all of the nicer XT stuff, and then XT 165 millimeter crank, 32 teeth chain ring, coming back here, XT, I had to clean this bad boy up. Then I inspected it to make sure it still wasn't too worn out, but I don't think I have that many miles on it to where it should be. And then I'll have the chain on here at some point, but then XT rear derailleur, I put a brand new one on. The old one was good, but it was so dirty and gunky, and I have like 2 spares, so the old one is going to be a spare for me, and then I'll just put a new one on here. So that's pretty much it. I don't think I'm missing anything. And of course, NORCO fluid frame in size small. There's all the specs. If you want to see what the geometry is, you can pause the video and look. It's pretty awesome. I love how tight this bike is going to be for me. Poppy, I have a feeling I'm really going to like how this rides. Covers the whole spec. Oh yeah, and then the RockShox Super Deluxe that came with the frame. And I do have the Fox shock that will also fit on here if I want to swap them out and play around. I do not know how many spacers are in here. I'm going to probably take this out and find out. But until I ride the bike, I won't know how many spacers I want on here. So that's kind of one of those things. And by spacers, I mean volume spacers, right? So part of the issues, and so okay, let me come back because I promised I was going to talk about the tires. So when I had the Canyon, I always felt like the back end was going to wash out on me. And originally it came with I believe the tires that I have on the Smoky, the Maxxis, I don't remember which ones, but it had Maxxis tires on it, but I liked the knobby nicks, so I wanted to try them. So I put those on the Canyon, and they felt a little funky to me, and I was like, wow, the back end really wants to wash out. But I've never had that kind of issue with knobby nicks on other bikes, right? I was like, gosh, are the sidewalls just super flexy or whatever? And these are like the trail rated ones. I don't put the dual casing and all that on my bikes. I just don't like the heavy weight. It makes my bike feel dead. And I don't have a problem with getting flats because I'm not riding gnarly, chunky, rocky sections and stuff. At least not that often. So I'm very curious to know, this has an aluminum rear end, but some of the research I did last year was I was trying to figure out why does it feel like the back end's going to wash out. Well, I found out that Canyon actually designs a certain degree of flex in the back end, and they do that to provide better traction. But if you're not used to it, it makes you a little nervous and makes you want to back off because you think the back end's going to wash out. So I'm not sure I liked that feeling in the Canyon. It was just one of those things I really struggled to get used to. So I'm curious to know, with this bike, aluminum rear triangle, carbon front triangle, will this have a stiffer rear? And I'm really hoping so, because I don't like that like loose feel in the back end. Yeah, sure, maybe it gives you traction, yeah, blah, blah, whatever, but I just don't like it. So, and because of that, it actually makes me not as willing to push as hard because I don't know what the bike's gonna do. So I'm really hoping that this frame solves that problem. Cool. So yeah, I'm almost there. I gotta hook up the rear derailleur. I haven't done that. I gotta put the chain on. I gotta hook up the dropper post, obviously put a seat on it and stuff like that. Probably order some grips. Maybe I'll get some blue grips or just some black ones. Or I know there's grips that I can get, like the grips are black, but maybe it has blue collars. I don't know yet. I don't know what grips I'm gonna put on there yet, but it is looking awesome. I'm really stoked to ride this bike and see how it feels. Oh yeah, and I still gotta get all the cables zip tied. I don't know if this is the prettiest design, but I do have to say, one of the complaints about the Canyon was the cables coming through here and going into it was creaking and causing all kinds of issues. And I know this might not look all that great, but I know that the cables aren't gonna like creak on me and cause weird things, right? So once I get these all zip tied in there, just seems kind of weird to be right there, but you know, there's no yeah, it's an interesting setup here. That's probably going to be my only thing that makes this bike a little, you know, not as clean, right, is the cables here. I do kind of like how they go in here. I hate it when bike companies have the cables go through the headset. Just, that's part of the things bike companies need to knock off. Just stop. Don't do that. Don't torture us anymore by running them through the headset. Just figure out a way to do this, and we're going to have cables in the front. Big deal. And if you have wireless shifting, then you have one less cable there, whatever. If you go wireless dropper, then you only have 2 cables. Big deal, right? But running them through here is just such a pain in the butt. I don't ever want to deal with that. So, all right. Yeah, and I got everything pretty well cleaned up. I got to clean up the front rim. I did clean all the internal stuff, but I still got to do the rim. I did do the rear rim, so you can see how much nicer that is. But I wanted to do the rims while they're on the bike, because you can kind of spin and run the rag and stuff. And I just used that simple green bike cleaner over there, which works really good. So I think I covered mostly everything. I think the next video on this bike will be it being completed, and judging by this cold snap's gonna last like 2 days, but judging by the fact that we have very little snow on the ground, which is why you haven't seen fat biking videos of me yet, I will probably get this at least outside in the street and pedal it around and get an idea how it feels, unless we suddenly get some snow that I'm not expecting, because I don't want to ride this in the slop. But as of right now, the streets are pretty clear. Like, I would be okay at least pedaling this around the neighborhood and getting a feel for it when it's like in the, you know, mid 20s or upper 20 degrees outside. So there you have it. Appreciate your support for my channel. Please like and subscribe. Peace. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that I got these, and I will be installing them on the wheels. I gotta go through and check the sealant anyway, so might as well swap these out. So that'll just add some nice blue accents to the wheels.